Well, check that. My eyebrows get darker when I come away. I've actually got eyebrows. Does that happen in real life? Don't know. Anyway, I wanted to talk to you today about goal setting, and in particular New Year's resolution, because statistically this is when everyone starts to drop their goals and pretend they never made any goals, and all the naysayers that didn't like New Year's resolutions start to come out and say, ha, told you, they're rubbish, you shouldn't have made one to start with, that's why I didn't make one. And everyone that did make one and or felt committed and they felt really good about it are now feeling a bit silly. So I want to talk about that. I don't think New Year's resolutions are bad. I think they're really good to make, but I don't think they're enough. I don't think people make them properly. I don't think people really connect to why they're making them. And anyway, I just wanted to talk about the biggest mistakes people make when they make New Year's resolutions. First mistake I see is that people choose an old New Year's resolution, say it was to get fit, and they'll just make a really vague goal of, I should really get fit. And see, even if you hear the word should in your goal, that's when you know you're not emotionally committed to the goal and you're already going into it with a sense of guilt and doubt and not positive, and that's not great. So in those instances, people need to kind of realign with what their goal is, and maybe it's not get fit anymore, maybe that's not exciting enough just now, maybe that's not what their actual needs are. So a lot of the time I like to write out a kind of spider diagram with my name in the middle, or Shiv's life or something like that, I don't know, and little lines of like different areas of my life. So it will be like health, fitness, financial, social, familial, all that kind of stuff. You might remember that from the wheel that we did at school. Maybe some of us done that from my generation. It was like the life wheel, and you had to like put little crosses about how good it is, and you'd end up with, instead of like a nice full circle, there was usually like a little dent like one area of your life. So work out where that is, and if you work out like where you're feeling the least fulfillment, then work out if that is an actual need. So maybe it's not losing weight, getting to a size 10, whatever. Maybe it's actually looking after your self-care. Maybe it's looking after your stress levels. Maybe it's taking more time for you, and that thing will then end up helping the bigger goal. So yeah, sometimes I think people make the wrong goal because that's the flashier goal, instead of making the actual goal, which is to take care of themselves better, to change things up in their life so they have more self-care, or to look after X, Y and Z. Maybe they're focusing on getting fit when actually the thing that will help them is even their nutrition. So, you know, still in the same realm, but it could be because they repeatedly don't fix their nutrition or make it, you know, better eating habits that actually serve their body. They're feeling tired, they're feeling depleted after exercise, they're also not getting the results, just say it is, to feel trimmer or feel better in their body. They're not getting that because nutrition is still rubbish. So it could be that. It could be that we're setting the wrong goals. Obviously I'm gravitating to fitness and health because that's the one I hear the most. The other mistake people make is they make one big New Year's resolution, they put that in the box, they're like, I'm going to do that this year, and they never talk about it again. So they never think about reconnecting with that. So I actually make a point of almost having like a New Year's resolution every quarter. So I'll check in with that in a big way every quarter, but I'll also set myself like monthly goals. So if I have like this bigger goal of, let's say, handstands, that is a goal. So just say I've got this bigger goal of handstands, and I know I need to have more stability in my shoulders for that. So I know I need to be training my shoulders 3 times a week. So you kind of pull it back to monthly goals, to weekly goals, and work out what is the actionable steps. Not I should really get fit, or I should really do this, or I should really stop spending, or whatever your goal was. You want to actually have a specific goal, and then specific actionable steps you can take, because there's no point in having a goal and you have no idea how to get towards that goal. You need to have the little mini steps, and it's all the little mini steps that will get you towards your goal, obviously. So yeah, I think that's a big thing, is that people don't check in. So check in every quarter, have your monthly goal, have your weekly actions, but then also have your daily journal. Now I'm starting to sound a bit psychotic, but it works for me. So every day I have written out what I want to achieve that day. And this is where we get to the next one, number 3. People make this massive to-do list for each day. They're like, I need to get these 20 things done or I fail. And it'll be all these itty bitty life admin stuff or other stuff, distracting stuff. And then at the very bottom of their to-do list, it will be the thing they're most uncomfortable with, which is maybe eating better, training that day, or I'm not very creative today. I can't think of any other goals apart from fitness and health. There we go. You guys can tell me some goals in the comments. That'll give me more inspiration. But yes, so you find that I remember one of my friends reading a book, and it's something to do with like eating your fat frog or eating the frog first or whatever. And your frog is like your the worst thing on your to-do list. The thing that's going to have like the best impact. The thing you're like, I'll do that once I've like done the dishes, washed the cat, freaking fixed the car, done X, Y and Z, seen to the kids, seen to everybody apart from yourself. So that, eat your fat frog. If you do that first, if you do the thing you least want to do first, then you're going to have much better momentum, less stress, because there's no point in you getting 19 things done in the day and then you don't do the thing that actually would have the biggest impact in your life. So that's another thing as well with my clients. Each week I'll say to them, I want you to pick one thing, or 1 to 3 things. They can go up to 3 but nothing more than that, but pick the one thing out of those 3 that's going to be the big thing that needs to get done this week, that if it gets done it's going to have the biggest impact on everything else. So if that's sleep, oh there we go, inspiration, right? Just say sleep is the thing that they put on the back burner. So they're, you know, reading on their phone at night, they're playing video games on their phone to try and de-stress, or they're watching Netflix or whatever, watch it well past the hours that they want to, and then they're going to bed like after 12 or later or whatever, and they know they've got an early start. So if you know that lack of sleep is the thing, if you can control that, obviously, if anyone deals with insomnia, of course, if it's an obstacle you can overcome, amazing. If not, let it be for now, work on other things. Don't stress yourself about sleep. There's nothing worse than lying there being like, go to sleep, it's important. But if you can prioritise that, and if that's the main issue, you've not prioritised it and that's why it's not improved, then that's the thing to focus on. So instead of, you know, you'll get some clients say, right, I'm going to focus on water, I'm going to focus on this, I'm going to focus on that, I'm going to train like 16 times this week, I'm going to do X, Y, Z, do. But the thing they don't do is actually work on the sleep. And the sleep is the thing that's going to give them momentum for other things. So you look at what your top 3 are, pick the thing that's got the biggest impact, even if it's the thing that makes you feel the most uncomfortable. If it makes you feel uncomfortable, it's just something you're not well practiced at yet. And that takes me to number 5. I think I'm just going to do 5. I'm winging this, but we'll do 5. Number 5 is people putting too much negative energy on their goal. So feeling guilty that it's not happened yet, and feeling disappointed in themselves that they don't have the skills to do it. And that kind of annoys me, I shouldn't say that. That frustrates me, because as adults we seem to think we have to know everything before we start. We think we need to be good at everything like right away. We don't give ourselves space to learn and to fail. And that's a big thing, is people don't have a great relationship with failure. I say failure, but what I mean is like just sucking at something at first. Like, we're going to be rubbish at first at something. If you're not used to like meal prepping, if you're not used to like making sure that you sleep X amount of hours, like you need to put the time in first instead of doing it a couple of times and feeling bad that it feels so uncomfortable. Like, things will feel uncomfortable. We are designed to protect ourselves against like change and the unknown. So just be aware that you're going to move through discomfort. It's not going to feel great. And something that really helped me was, I had a mentor who had said, unless you've done something for 20 hours, you've not even become competent at it. So if you do something for 20 hours, that's meant to be the amount of time it takes to become competent at something. Not world class, but competent. And if you think about it, when you think about, you know, your last effort to get fit, your last effort to eat well, to meal prep, for me, doing videos on social media, that was my thing. Still makes me uncomfortable, but I'm not at my 20 hours yet. but did you actually do 20 hours? For me, videos, it's like a 10-minute video, 5-minute video, whatever, and that takes a lot of videos to accumulate to 20 hours. So I kind of had a thing in my head of, I've not done this to the minimum level to become competent, so of course it's going to feel uncomfortable. So for you guys, if you've not meal prepped, like, I'm not saying from your previous attempts, but from your current attempt, when do you normally drop the ball? So when you're trying new ways of moving, new exercise, is it like the 2-3 week mark that things start to fall apart? Is it a few months in? Because guaranteed you've not quite made it to the 20 hours of competency. I love it when people make it there. I love it when people get to the point where they're like, remember when this movement was like really hard for me and I felt so old and stiff. So already like not enjoying at the very start, and see the fulfillment of being able to do things with your body you couldn't do before. I love it. I just think it's the best feeling ever. It just gives you such a sense of achievement and overcoming things, which I think we don't really get a lot as adults. We really kind of leave that kind of stuff at school. Like, we're done learning, we're adults, we're just going to adults now, and I think that pressure is the worst. So hopefully that helps some people today who have kind of dropped their New Year's resolutions, and it's helped me get 11 minutes and 19 seconds of my 20 hours. So have a good day, guys. Bye.